and welcome to Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast. We oughta baby. It's a Pokemon podcast.
What was that?
You remember that commercial?
No.
It was like a 1-800 collect commercial from the late 90s. The guy calls his dad and he's like, "We oughta baby. It's a boy." Because he's doing a collect call and he doesn't want to pay for the call.
And that's his name.
And she says, "What's your name?" And he said, "Greg." And she says, "Greg what?" He says, "Greg, we oughta baby. It's a boy."
You know what? I do remember that now. It's all coming back to me now.
Well, we have a podcast, It's a Experience Share, and my name is Tanpour, a.k.a. Tanner Greenring, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Trubbish.
Both of those are good. Well done.
It's been 4 long days since you and I last spoke and recorded. We decided to try to squeeze in 2 this week, and mercifully, it was the shortest route yet.
Yeah, we did have an extremely long leg earlier this week, but this part was quick and easy.
Easy breezy, huh?
And
Just
I'll say,
hop, skip, and a jump.
Kind of had some okay cards. I had one scary card, but then it got wiped away pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how you misinterpreted the rules and why you think.
Let me say, I think this is the first week where I got all the rules right. Is that because a card cleaned up a bunch of rules that I didn't understand? Maybe.
Yeah, that's always nice, right?
Yeah.
It's always nice when that happens. Joshua, we play through all the Pokemon games, gym by gym, week by week. We are playing through Black 2 and White 2 now, and we are using a rule set called Kingslocke, invented by Pokemaniacal. And the way it works is every time we enter a route, we draw a tarot card from a tarot deck, and Pokemaniacal has provided a quite large sheet of rules where each card does a different thing, and they're almost all bad, except this week. It
was a nice week.
Yeah.
You had a nice week, Tanner?
I had an okay week, yeah. I am not complaining. Yeah. I had one bad card, but it was wiped out pretty quickly, just like you.
Oh, all right. Nice.
So I'm feeling okay. And, you know, the box is empty, so to speak.
Oh.
Tandora's box has opened up, and all of my terrible nightmares and secrets have fled out.
No petrified mon for you?
Not one. I mean, those Vesselmon are still there.
I don't have any either. Interesting.
Yeah, we'll get to the why behind that in just a moment. I will say this: I'm not pleased with the Pokemon that I was forced to catch this week.
I don't think I was terribly impressed with that either. Actually,
I don't like many of the Pokemon that I caught this week. In fact, 2 of the 3 Pokemon I caught this week, very short route, have been and continue to be You Make Me Barf Pokemon.
I see, yeah.
So, I'm not pleased, but let's start at the beginning, Joshua. We wrapped up in Nimbasa last week. We took on Alessa.
She's a model.
We walked the catwalk. We fought all her little cronies, and now we're headed out. There's 2 routes out of town here to the north of Nimbasa City. You head west, and you're on Route 16. You're headed towards some bridge. Marvelous Bridge?
That's east.
East. What did I say? West.
West, the opposite.
Head east.
West is Route 5.
Yes. If you head east, you're on Route 16, and you're headed towards the Marvelous Bridge, which is not open. So this is just a little bit of a diversion. Yeah, you can get some training in. Route 16, a few trainers, and then there's the Lostlorn Forest is here as well. And then, the typical kind of shit. This is another route. Or no, it was actually, was it in Lostlorn Forest where there's another trainer another breeder who like constantly wants to battle you every time you pass her?
Pokemon breeder Galen.
Yeah.
But it's just a Tranquil and a Lipard. Well, let's talk about what we drew on Route 16.
Yeah, let's talk about what, obviously, the second we entered the route, we had to draw a card because we had to do some battling on this route. There's lots of trainers. There's lots of wild Pokemon. What did you draw, Josh?
A 2. Just a nice 2.
2 is arguably one of the best cards to draw. It's simple. You know what you're getting. There's no complicated rules. You're not being punished,
Yeah, you just get to choose them on.
I drew a 2 this leg, but I didn't draw it here.
What'd you
draw? So 2 is you get to pick any mon that you want to go catch.
Yeah.
Who did you choose?
Solosis.
Why Solosis? Is Solosis good?
I think it's pretty good. And then also, what the hell else was a better option?
What's Solosis' type?
Psychic.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't have Solosis. I didn't see Solosis in here because I don't have Solosis.
That's why. So apparently Minchino's here, Gothita's here for you. So yeah. Gothita is your Solosis.
Gothita is my Solosis. Yeah, what a I got the shitty end of the stick on that one, huh?
Yeah, you did.
That's great. Solosis. What a silly little butt. Silly little floating butt.
Yeah, that butt is sat itself inside the box currently.
Yeah, until you need another psychic type.
Yeah.
I drew an 8 of Wands. 8 is mate, and it's the one where you have to box the oldest Pokemon on your team, and at that time, the oldest Pokemon on my team was Corpulax, the Psyduck.
Classic.
I boxed Corpulax the next opportunity I got. Sorry, Corpulax. The Corpulax, what a raw deal he keeps getting too, huh? Just in and out of the box.
That's been like my Psyduck and Servine until this week, I'll say. But previously, they were just in and out of that fucking box.
I desperately want Corpulax to stay on the team long term because he still has Pokerus, and I want that to spread to someone besides
Oh, he's still got it, though, at least.
Does it go away?
I think if they spend a total of 72 hours outside of the box, it goes away, but it can spread to other Mon in the party.
It spreads in the box, or it spreads on the team?
On the team, it can spread. It won't necessarily, I think.
It spread to Tepig, but that's the only one who's caught it so far.
Nice.
And Tepig's in the vessel, so that's not doing me any good. But yeah, I boxed Corpulax. Sorry, man. You know, I love you. I think you're great, but you've been on the team since the very beginning, since the bad old days.
Yeah.
So, anything notable happen on Route 16 for you? It was a pretty standard route, you know?
It's like a whatever route.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. I guess it's mostly backpackers and cyclists. And then I think someone made a mistake because all of the trainers in Route 16 are cyclists or backpackers, except for one who are backers, Stu and Art, and they're like sports fans.
It's like they got lost on the way to the big stadium.
I think someone was programming this route and they're like, oh, backpackers and cyclists, great. And they just started typing BACK and it auto-filled into backpackers.
Like, that looks good.
And then they hit enter and they did it again and it auto-filled to backers.
Yeah, Stu and Art do not belong here.
No, and they also have 2 Scraggies, which is gross.
Yeah, and they were a joke.
Yeah, and they are a joke. And then, yeah, there's the gate to get up to Marvelous Bridge, but it is closed. You can't go there yet.
Nope.
So, turn around. The other thing that happens here is Lostlorn Forest. Now, I don't remember Lostlorn Forest from Black and White. Do you?
I do, but I remember it being in a different part of Unova.
Well, it makes sense because it's an illusion.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. They're illusions. Yeah.
Yeah.
By Zoroark.
Zoroark. Who we meet.
Yeah.
He's in here.
I did see that.
There's a backpacker in Lostlorn Forest, and he sort of tells you about the background of the area, and then he turns into Zoroark and flees the scene.
And
and he gives you a TM, but we're not even going to mention the TMs anymore because we can't use them. Pointless. We can't do anything with them.
What the hell was that card where we get to use the TMs? That was a nice card.
I think it's the Fool.
We got it when we only had Return.
Right.
Now I've got a fair number of TMs.
You are forced to teach every one of your Pokemon a TM move. Although it doesn't have to be the same move. At that point, I think all we had was Return.
Yeah, that's all I had. And Workup. They're all useless to me now.
So that's kind of it. It's sort of an uneventful little side jag here.
Yeah, it's just a nice place. You get some EXP, sweet EXP, but that's it.
So we pop back through Nimbasa, the north side of Nimbasa, and we head west, which is our true route this week. Route 5 is on the other side of Nimbasa, and it's the same Route 5 you love, and love from the last game. That food truck is there.
Yeah.
Where you can sell your berry. Well, you can sell any kind of food, right?
Yeah, I found out that you could sell any kind of food because I had a Castilia cone that at the time I was not interested in, and I just wanted to see if I could sell whatever. And I think I bought it for probably, $200 or something?
Probably, yeah. I think.
And I sell it, go into the little like food truck, and the baker's apprentice is like desperately trying to impress the baker.
Yeah.
And she will buy whatever you have to impress her master, she says.
Yeah.
And she bought a Castelia cone for $2,000.
Holy shit. That's
so
a good
I think there's
flip.
a little bit of a scheme you could have where you just buy so many.
Well, you know what's nice
cones.
about that too is as we enter Route 5, Bianca approaches us.
Oh, yeah.
And she says, "Congratulations on making it this far. Here's an HM." And she hands you the HM for Fly. I love that they've just gotten rid of any sort of like context for like earning any of these moves. Someone will just approach you at random and be like, "Here's one of the most important HMs in the game."
Just giving it away for free.
Yeah. I don't think I have anyone who can fly. I certainly haven't taught it to anyone yet. I haven't needed it.
Oh,
do I have any flying Pokemon?
I can. You can't figure that out? Do they have wings? Anything with wings?
No. I'm trying to think of my box. No one on my team can fly.
You don't have any birds?
Can Golduck learn it? Probably not, right?
No,
I don't have any birds.
God. I got a number of birds.
I have a number of plants.
Yeah.
I have a ton of plants.
And like fiery boys.
Where's
and HMs you can teach for free. You don't
HMs
need
you
a
can
card
teach. It's
for
not
that.
like the TMs, yeah. But yeah, you could probably figure out a nice little scheme like Kramer and Newman. You know, as long as it's cost effective to buy Castelia cones in Castelia and then fly back here to sell them to the lady.
I think the hitch is
that infinite profit?
Yeah, but I think the hitch is that the assistant will only buy one per day, although I'm not positive about that. But I do think there's a scheme.
Yeah,
there's a scheme.
There's also, I think, a couple of ladies here who will give you berries, 5 berries. The berry seller, there's one woman. The berry seller will give you 5 berries every day for $200, and they're all random. It's either Pomeg, Kelpsy, Qualot, Hondu, or Greppa berries.
Yeah, she's a little lass who loves berries and cream.
She's a little lass who loves berries and cream. That's true, yeah. When I approached her, she gave me Greppa berries, which are, as far as I can tell, pointless.
I don't even know what that fucking one is. I mean, you know what my opinion is of berries.
Using it on a Pokemon makes it more friendly, but it also lowers its base special defense stat. Why would I want that? That's so bad. That's such a bad berry.
I got Pomeg.
What does Pomeg do?
I don't know.
Who cares? We're not berry guys, you know?
Wait, Pomeg is the one that makes it more friendly. Oh, Pomeg makes it more friendly, but it lowers base HP.
Yeah, I think all of these make it more friendly. These are all friendly berries, but they all affect stats, and it's like not worth it, you know? Like even if you're trying to evolve a Pokemon that evolves on friendliness, like I would not do it this way, you know? I just hired a guy back at Union or whatever it's called, Join Avenue, who will like give my Pokemon haircuts and make them happier. Why would I feed them shitty berries that make them worse Pokemons?
So they can die faster? Oh, they're going to be friendlier to me, but they have lower HP, so it's going to die faster,
yeah,
and then it's going to hate me.
Yeah, then that's going to hurt its friendliness level.
If that berry doesn't come with cream, this little lad is not interested.
Gross. Never say that phrase again. There's also a guy here playing guitar, just kind of keeping everyone happy. He will battle you and then says, like, I'm not going to give you this guitar because you don't have a prop case. And it's like, well, I didn't ask for it.
It's like, I don't need to be showing up at a party and trying to play Wonderwall.
Like this guy.
Yeah, this fucking guy is the epitome of, anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Because there is a little bit of a party happening here on Route 5. And in the center of it,
in Black and White.
In the center of it is our old friend.
The Trainer Danger.
Is this your Trainer Danger of the week?
Trainer Danger, once again. Heartbreaker Charles.
Heartbreaker Charles. He's still so bizarre.
Even more prominent than our previous interaction. Now his hog takes up 2 squares.
Yeah. He's got a big hog.
Big hog. With a crowd of people surrounding him, he still only knows how to say, "My name Charles, I'm a heartbreaker."
My name Charles, I'm a heartbreaker. And then he has some secondary phrase, but it's like one of like 4 phrases, and they're all
so many ellipses abuse, and It's a triple battle because he's saying that he invented a new battle format in order to impress some girl, and the girl didn't like it, and he's upset.
Yeah, in my game, it was a rotation battle for this one. But you can...
right. You get a different one. I get a triple battle.
You can meet up with him again in Driftveil and fight him again, and then when I fought him the second time, it switched to a triple battle.
Oh, I'll have to do that. I didn't realize
he's
that.
just kind of like... He's on the far west side of Driftveil City, just cruising up and down like a big...
by that,
patch of grass. Yeah.
I just didn't want to talk to him again.
Oh. We entered a route, and we did battles. We must draw cards.
Oh, I did.
What did you draw?
I drew a 2 again. Oh, wait.
No, you didn't.
We didn't talk about Lostlorn Forest, what we drew there.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
We're behind on the cards.
Bug catchers, we got to hop back a second.
What I drew in Lostlorn is pretty important, actually.
Let's go back to Lostlorn for a moment. We forgot to talk about the cards we drew. Sometimes you just get so excited about the game that you forget about the tarot cards. But yeah, what did you draw in Lostlorn?
These arbitrary rules that we've inflicted on ourselves. Well, these are less arbitrary because it's a real system. But I drew the Magician back in Lostlorn.
Oh, I've had that before. Is that the stab attack one?
No, it's not. I think it's still a notch above how bad the stab one is. The Magician allows you to only use special attacks, no physical.
Oh, right. Yes.
Most of my team at this point was a special attacker, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely one
I didn't love it.
That's better for late game than early game.
Yeah.
I feel like you can sort of work around that one. This is where I drew my 2 of cups in Lostlorn Forest, which was excellent timing because I had just boxed Corpulax and I knew what was ahead of us. It's in Driftveil City, the gym leader is Clay with his ground types. And I just lost my 1 water type Pokemon. So I was like, well, shit, is there a water type Pokemon in Lostlorn Forest? There is, Josh. Guess who it is?
I literally don't know.
My You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week, Panpour.
What? I didn't even know Panpour was in there.
Yeah, I think all the pan monkeys are, but don't quote me on that.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a Panpour in Lostlorn Forest. It's my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I needed a water Pokemon because I just boxed my Psyduck. So what do? I suck it up. I keep a stiff upper lip, and I get out there and I catch a dang Panpour, and I start leveling it. And I feel terrible about
ears, it. And it's like blowhole head.
There's a reason it's my You Make Me Barf Pokemon, and I will get into the reason when it becomes relevant. Okay. I don't, obviously, I don't like the pan monkeys, right?
No, nobody does. Well, I don't. I'm sure people do, and we don't want to hear about it. We don't want to hear about it.
They've been You Make Me Barf Pokemon before, but that's not why I added Panpour this week. In a moment, I will tell you why I added Panpour.
You won't say.
But just keep in mind that I needed a water Pokemon, I caught Panpour, and I started training it, thinking, got to get this thing up to, 33 for Clay's gym.
Okay.
So, hop back. Route 5. We drew cards. What'd you get?
2 of Wands.
2 of Wands. 2 is you. You get to
That's
catch
another nice 2.
Who'd you go after? Who'd you hunt down?
We get introduced to hidden Grottos here.
Yeah, we finally understand this mechanic.
Bianca, after she gives us Fly, sort of stumbles over into the woods because she's a wine mom, as we've established. Stumbles over and she's like, "What's this?
Yeah,
like what's this little clearing?"
I'm gonna talk to whoever. I'm gonna talk to the manager of Route 5. This is dangerous.
They're violating my HIPAA law.
Yeah, she introduces us to grottos, which are these little paths between the trees that take you into little cul-de-sacs.
And this is like I have to say, because I love grottos in Ocarina of Time, is one of the most serene experiences of my life. Where when I've gotten into a really hairy situation, sometimes I have to just listen to the grotto soundtrack.
Oh yeah, that's your happy
from Ocarina
place
of Time, and it's like, okay,
that's beautiful, man.
And Saria's song as well, but it's you can look for a little sort of like when 2 trees have a little connection between them. You can click on it and then go into a hidden grotto, and then there will either be items or Mon in there.
just kind of plunked down in the middle of with their little overworld sprite.
And in this one, it's a Minccino.
It is a Minccino. They call it a Minccino. Wait till you see how much it costs.
Minccino.
You caught that?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. This one's got to be special, right? Maybe it's got Jack stats. It's like the special little Mon. Yeah. I caught it.
I didn't. I drew an odd card here, I would say. I drew the world.
Another of the world.
For the second time, yeah, I've drawn a world. And the world is the one that essentially wipes the slate clean. You get rid of any like rules that you have pending. You throw away all your major arcana cards. And you get to catch the first Pokemon you encounter in the area. So I drew the world, cleared all my cards, like happily planned to immediately box Panpour as soon as I could and pull Corpalox back out of the box. And that is why Panpour is my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the week, because it was such a needless catch. What a waste of a 2.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I need a water Pokemon, right? So I'm going to go catch this Panpour. And then literally like 15 minutes later, I pulled the world and got to take Psyduck back out of my box. So welcome to hell. I'm never taking you out of the box again, Panpour. I regret so much that I was forced to catch you. And then I decided to skip the Minccino because the way I interpreted those rules is it's the first Pokemon you encounter. And I never encountered the Minccino because I never approached it.
Oh, you just chose to not even bother.
No, I left the grotto and I was like, I'm going to take my chances with the grass, with the tall grass. Guess what the first thing that attacked me was?
Like a Trubbish?
Gothita.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you get Gothitas, yeah.
Of course, the first thing that attacked me was the Gothitas. I wonder what the it's got to be like minuscule. The chance of catching a Gothita in this area. Oh no, it's high. It's 30%.
Yeah, it's the equivalent for Solosis for me. So
yeah. Ugh, welcome Gothita. You're also in the box, and hopefully I'll never have to take you out.
Thank God. Although I'd sort of like to see you have to deal with Gothita, and maybe you could come to love your male.
Yeah, she's a female.
What is it? Gothitel. Okay.
Yeah, she's a female. So and then we went on to take on Heartbreaker Charles. My name Charles.
One thing that I did not find heartbreaking about him is one of his Mon.
Oh, okay.
Who was Joshy's sweetie.
Okay, who's that?
Tortuga.
Tirtoga. Tirtoga is the one who turns into like the big turtle with like a bulletproof vest on, right?
Yeah, the Archin equivalent.
Yeah.
Other fossil.
Yeah. Tirtoga's pretty cute.
It's just a sweet fucking like sea turtle. Leatherback turtle, I think is what it says in the trivia.
Who can get mad about that?
It's nice.
What's not to like? Good choice.
Thank you.
Heartbreaker Charles.
You crush him. It's a Sigilif and a Archin and Tortuga.
Yeah. The crowd parts around him and he screams off the screen. It's the fastest I've ever seen a sprite move in a Pokemon game.
He actually ran over a couple of people to get out of there.
Did he?
Yeah. Did you not notice
Christ.
that?
No.
Yeah.
Did you help them?
Heartbreaker in terms of when he runs over people.
Breaks their heart. Literally runs over their hearts.
Literally.
Breaks it in half with his tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone. He drives to Driftveil, so it's on us to go catch him. Because we're like Looker now. Was that his name? Our one job is to hunt down
Interpol.
Heartbreaker Charles and annihilate him. Next up, Josh, Driftveil Drawbridge. We're back.
Beautiful.
We've made it back to the Drawbridge. You get a warning as you go on the bridge that ducklets are about, and that if you see a feather floating down, if you try to catch it or if you approach it, you will be attacked by a ducklet.
Yeah.
That is the reason, because I got that warning as I approached the bridge, I drew a card.
And
I don't remember what it was because I went through the entire bridge and never had an encounter with anyone or any Pokemon. So I just discarded the card. What about you?
Okay. Well, I had the same situation, but I took the card even though I did not encounter a ducklet.
Okay.
Because the card was the world.
Oh, okay. That's a good
I
card.
dropped the world.
Too bad it's invalid.
Right? It's anytime you're expecting a battle. So here's again, bug catchers, I implore you. If you expect a battle, I think you draw. Even if the battle doesn't happen. Like, there are wild Pokemon here, even though if I didn't see a Ducklet.
Except, even if you do see a feather, you don't have to approach it.
Yeah, but don't you want to see if you get one of those sweet, sweet Swift Wings or Genius Wings or whatever? You didn't pick any of that up?
I guess. Here's what I'm going to say. I think if you want your world to be valid, I need to draw a card now.
Oh my God.
And live by the rules of it, because this is post the world, right? I drew the world in the last route.
Yeah.
And I think depending on what I draw, if it's a bad card, I'm not going to let you do it. I'm not going to be punished for your rule breaking. But if it's a good card, I'll let you get away with it. How about that?
I guess that makes sense.
All right. I'm assuming you played the rest of the leg with the world in play.
Well, I have a card later that could have ended it, but I was like, I don't think I need to, because the world's good. What do I care? You know?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find like a random tarot card drawer.
Oh, yeah, you don't just have your deck
they're
at
upstairs,
hand all the time, like me?
There is a website called randomtarotcard.com. So here we go.
Okay.
The Emperor. Read the rule to me, please.
The Emperor. That seems like it's probably okay.
I hope so. I hope for your sake.
Okay. I mean, okay. Well, I won't give a spoiler. The Emperor. Catch the first Pokemon you see in this area, and that Pokemon ignores all other rules until this one is revoked.
Okay. I'll go back and catch a Ducklet.
You can get a Ducklet.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to catch a Ducklet, and it's going to be immune to all rules. And that's
have a Ducklet. You know what, Tanner? Okay. Have a Ducklet.
I'll take it, and you have your world, huh?
Yes. And please, how badly did I need the world? You didn't need the world. I needed it.
I needed it. I was still under the female only clause and
complex devil justice sun temperance situation that we needed to have fucking fixed up.
You had to get rid of that card that made you keep whatever it was, 5 or 6.
Yeah, the Hierophant thing that
you had to get rid of that. That was a nightmare.
This is all cleaned up.
Oh, and like I couldn't heal, remember? Like I was kind of I was in dire straits.
Oh, you needed a world actually as well. Yeah,
I needed it, and I got it. And now apparently I get to go catch a Ducklet too, and I'm pretty excited about that.
That could be nice.
Yeah. What is it? Well, that'll be my bird. We were just talking about how I don't have a damn bird.
You can have a bird.
Now I'll have one. God, do Ducklets learn fly?
You get a bird.
Do Ducklets learn fly?
I think so.
Ducklet Generation 5.
Although we were just talking about another kind of duck, gold duck, that can't, so. But that Swanna's got big, beautiful wings.
It can learn fly. So and surf. Maybe Ducklet will just be my...
They don't always show up, though.
Well, I get to catch lucky. the first Pokemon I find in that route. So I'm just going to hang out there until a Ducklet comes.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Not bad.
What does it turn into?
Drawbridge.
Like a sexy swan, right?
The beautiful... sexy swan.
Right. Don't mind if I do. Yes, please. Swanna. Swanna's got the little bra on.
Yeah. I think you previously have not supported the bra.
Maybe I think I actually think Swanna's pretty gross.
Yeah, I think that's what you think.
Now that I'm looking at a picture of it again, is there a chance that I think it's pretty gross?
You don't like it, from what I recall.
Well, is it a good Pokemon?
I don't know. I think it's better than like Pelipper.
I think, whatever, it's going to be my HM friend either way. Oh, it's both great offense and defense typing, but it's incredibly hard to switch into. What does that mean?
It looks fine. It's pretty fast.
But I just don't understand. I don't understand Pokemon talk, you know? Listen to the way this is phrased. Swanna has both a great offense and defensive typing. It is incredibly difficult to switch into and is also a decent check to the many popular fighting types like Girder, Primeape, and Hitmonchan. Unfortunately, neither Swanna's offense nor its defenses are particularly impressive. Well, you just got done saying it has great offense and defensive typing. What does that mean? And and then they say it is incredibly difficult to switch into and is a decent check to.
Because it could get killed pretty easily.
So does that mean it's incredibly difficult to switch into? Does that mean it's Is that a
How
good
about
thing?
you don't switch into it? No.
I think it means the other team.
Oh, the other
hard
team
for the other
switching
team
into
to switch.
it. Oh, probably because it gets started with like, well, let's look at its move list.
Defog, water gun. It's like water moves. What do you want
Aqua
from me?
Ring, Roost, Rain Dance. No, it's one of these Mon that it gets set up. Like, it gets its Aqua Ring going so it can heal.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
It's got Feather Dance so it can start lowering attack. Like, it's a thing that just posts up. And then if it gets set up, then you might be in trouble.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out.
Also,
we've got the opportunity.
It's not included in Generation 8. They got a bunch of swans over in England, and isn't Sword and Shield based on the UK?
They invented swans over there.
That's one of their whole things.
Yeah, I think they invented it in France, but France and England are essentially the same country.
Oh my god. I just don't even know where to begin with you about that. Where I do want to begin,
it's all just Normans,
or perhaps end with. The Normans, I've been reading about them in that History of Wales that I mentioned last episode. The Normans were
after this break. Oh God, yeah!
That's just a good excuse to cut me off from going on a history rant.
No, I'm going to make you tell me that story when we get back.
All right.
Josh, you were telling me about the Norman invasion.
Yes. So I learned in my the book that I'm reading right now, A History of Wales, by the venerable John Davies.
Okay.
And
I take your word for it. I don't know who that is.
He's a Welsh historian.
Okay.
So he was saying that the Normans are actually very impressive. Yeah. They were the ones who got France started off on its whole thing, in the 10th century. They invented Gothic architecture. So when you think about the Notre Dame, ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Normans, they thought of that shit.
Okay, well, can they build something that's a little less flammable next time?
Yeah. And they had poets. They honored like the arts, but then obviously they had a lot of conquest.
Yeah,
but they honored the arts too.
So they were probably going for the culture win.
Yeah, they wanted culture victory.
But then they were like, this is too slow.
Yeah, they're like, oh, wait, we already control the capitals of the British Isles and France and etc. Maybe we just go for domination victory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there many times.
Tactics halfway through.
I'm like always, Tanner and I have played Civ 6 a few times together, but I play with my friend Nash, who lives in Denver pretty frequently, and probably will be playing later tonight, actually, because we're recording on a Saturday. And Nash is always saying to me that like he's very distinctly trying to go for like a science or a culture victory where you're kind of relaxed,
very dignified.
And my thing is like I'm also usually like science is probably my favorite. I like diplomatic victory. I like culture. I like all of it. But it's always like, yeah, I'm going for diplomatic victory, and then somebody kills one of my horsemen. Or settles a little bit too close to me.
You just see red.
And then I just accidentally, I just go on a fucking rampage for like 1,000 years.
I think one thing that you and I
take a couple of capitals, just to keep everyone in place.
Yeah. Let him know who's boss.
Yeah.
I think one thing you and Ash and I can all agree on is that religious victory is the worst one.
Oh.
And not
I've
fun.
only
Never
haphazardly fallen into it. I don't support religious victory.
Yep.
I think it's fucked up, and I also just hate the amount of clutter that acolytes and missionaries put all over the map. So I really don't support it in a number of ways.
Yeah.
So anyway, after I drop the world and drop that historical knowledge on you.
Yes. Now
I got to clear all those bad cards that I talked about, and then I went into Driftveil City, and I'm a new man.
You probably had a lot of work to do at the box, right?
Any mon that I want for the first time in this entire game. I can pick my own team. Did you have to go back and train
people who've been stuck in the box for ages?
Yeah, and as you know, my levels have been a joke the whole game.
Yeah, still are.
And I did have to do a bunch of leveling, but I did get to choose the mon that I wanted for the first time. Except for one, because let me tell you what I got when I stepped into Driftveil City.
Yeah.
King of Pentacles.
Oh no, the vessel?
Yeah.
Wait, remind me who you have to... Is it your choice?
It's your choice.
Okay.
From your team.
At least there's that.
So I took a page out of your book where I think last episode you admirably, or smartly, whatever, decided to, yeah, a little column A, a little column B, put Pig Knight in your vessel. Because you're like, I should have a good Pokemon in there too, not just, my case, the last Emperor, Puyi, who's level 2, is the only other Pokemon in my vessel.
Yeah. So who'd you put in?
I decided to banish King Louis the 16th, my Tranquil, who was level 28, I think, at the time.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. Like, I don't think of Tranquil as like I can't wait to get this thing out of the box.
Well, Unfazant is fine, and its final form, which I think is level 32, and I figured if I need to eventually, if I have to take out the vessel Pokemon,
which we probably will.
This one I'm not really going to miss, but if I have it at the time, hey, level 28 Tranquil versus a level 2 Sawaddle, hey, pretty fucking good.
So wait, you have a Tranquil and a Sawaddle in the box now.
That's right, they're in the vessel.
Or in the vessel, yeah. Okay. And I'm dealing with a Pig Knight, and I guess, yeah, this is fine. We're setting ourselves up for future success. Although, we're on Gym 5. There's not that many gyms left, you know?
As long as I can make it to the Elite Four without having to bring in the King's Cup, I'll feel okay. But I would say, you know, we're
I feel like I feel good about our odds at this point.
Gyms in, and we each have 2 kings. We might make it, but we could pretty easily not make it.
I guess that's true. I've drawn the world twice, you know? What's keeping me from drawing the kings 4 times? Nothing. Yeah. In fact, statistically, I'm likely to at this point. Well, welcome to the vessel, Tranquil. I drew a Queen of Pentacles. Queen is the ship has come in, and you get to catch as many Pokemon as you want to fill up your team. It's a city. There are no Pokemon to catch. So what I did instead was catch the one Pokemon that was made available to us, because welcome to Driftveil City, where old meets new. And we finally, as we're approaching the city, catch a glimpse of a member of Team Plasma who is in the full chainmail, like Knights Templar outfit. And they're having a big, loud public freak out with one of the new members of Team Plasma in their black, like, military fatigues.
Yeah, there was apparently a rift in the party.
Schism.
So there's the N side of things who now want to save Pokemon, as we talked about
admirable
last week, where I got that Unova link callback where N is good now, and he wants to free Pokemon.
Yep.
And then Getsis apparently is still banging.
Yeah.
And he wants to take over the world. Like the new Team Plasma guys, like, you know, that N guy, he just wants to save Pokemon, and then Getsis wants to take over the world, and I like that.
Yeah.
It's like, what? How?
What? That's bad. What are you, morally bankrupt?
Like taking over the world? And by the way, let's talk about what are the steps here, because it didn't work previously, and what has changed about the plan.
Yeah, it's still the same.
How are you taking over the world?
And I got bad news for you. I'm sort of like a hotshot. Like I'm one of the best Pokemon trainers in the world, I suspect.
Oh, I think
in this world. In this world of Unova, 3 years after the original events of Black and White. We'll see. I mean, I have a sneaking suspicion that I may beat the Elite Four and become the champion and defeat Getsis once again. And maybe even ally myself with this new N. But we'll see.
We'll see.
So we see this little confrontation between the old Team Plasma and the new Team Plasma. And nothing comes of it. You know, you just head into town after that.
The former member tells you that you should go visit their old base, which is west of the gym in the north of Driftveil.
Yes. Yeah. So you head that way first. There's plenty to talk about in Driftveil City, but the first thing you're sort of aimed towards is their old base. So you head up there, and it, sure enough, is the new base of the old Team Plasma.
Yeah.
And you're greeted by one of the former sages, who I guess is still a sage, just like a good sage now.
Yeah, Rude.
Rude is his name. Cool name.
Yeah.
And he fights you, which is easy.
Yeah, Herdier and a Swoobat, level 27.
Yuck.
Easy.
But then he says, thank you for defeating me in battle. Obviously, your Pokemon love you very much. We're still, like making amends for the nefarious deeds we did a few years ago. Can I give you this Pokemon? And I say, yes, you can, because I drew a queen and I'm allowed to have a Pokemon in this area. So Rude handed me the Pokemon Zorua, who's the little tiny, like...
Baby Zoroark.
Yeah, baby Zoroark. It looks like that little sun-faced dog.
What's a sun-faced dog?
The little dog that has like a sort of a sunburst for a face.
Anyway, I think I could have caught this. I didn't have space in my party because you had to clear one, and then I forgot. But King technically allows me to replace the member of my team that I had to box with a new member from this area if I want.
Lillipup.
Oh, you're just talking about another Pokemon dog. Okay.
Yeah. It looks a little like Lillipup if Lillipup was like
vibes.
a evil fox, you know?
Yeah.
But it turns into that sexy werewolf.
Yeah.
Sexy Pokemon this week.
Anyway,
you think you can get this?
I think I technically could have this.
What, you drew a king?
Yeah, and
which means
King allows you to replace the mon that you put in the vessel with a new Pokemon of your choice from this area. So technically...
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
Am I allowed? Observer, am I allowed?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm allowed to go back and catch a ducklet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not going to have it in my
We're
team.
playing
but
fast
I can have it.
and loose with the rules this week, people. But after a couple punishing weeks, we deserve it.
Yeah, and we're still abiding by the rules, for where they're established.
We're abiding. We're just playing fast and loose.
Yeah.
And that's our...
No mayor cheat, just fast and loose.
Now we both have a Zorua. I might run this thing. It's kind of cool.
I think it's definitely good.
I guess we're probably both going to have a Zoroark on our final teams, too. I hate that I can't rename it, but Zorua is already a pretty Chaos Lord style name, so...
Yeah, I think that fits.
I don't mind it. So this is... And then, he says, Team Plasma, we're trying to reestablish ourselves. We're good guys now. Take ends. This Zorua also used to belong to N, much like Josh's Sigilyph.
Yeah.
This is where my journey ended, Josh. Well, I went to Driftveil City. There's all the stuff here. There's like 4 hotels, but you can't do anything in any of them.
It went from a no-name town to just high-rise after high-rise, sort of inexplicably. I don't know why there are 3 hotels here.
Right.
4. And
Grand
4?
Hotel, the Luxury Suites, the Continental Hotel, and the Chateau Hotel.
Why are people staying here in droves?
I don't know. And they're all completely booked. You go up to the desk at all 4 of them, and they're like, sorry, we don't have any rooms, but please relax in our lobby. It's like,
well,
no.
Yeah, and you can take the elevator to go bother people in their rooms, and you get a bunch of items. Oh, you didn't do that?
No, I didn't go up a single elevator because I thought they were all closed. Well, I guess
you get heart scales, you can get a shell bell, you can get an air balloon, which makes a Pokemon levitate. It's good. It's just all free. There's no battles in it.
All right, well, I'll have to go back and try that then.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
But I don't know what anybody is doing. Driftveil doesn't seem particularly notable or beautiful to me.
No. Yeah. And then the very last thing here to talk about is, before we get to the gym, is the move tutor, who will take your red shards and teach your Pokemon
which
moves.
We can do, correct?
Which we can do, and we do have red shards. Yeah. I've collected a few red shards. I don't think I have a ton, but I've collected a few.
I didn't do it because I was at the time worried about who is actually going to end up being on my team by the time I battle Tanner, which we will later.
Yeah, we're battling.
And then I just forgot. Again, I forgot. So I didn't train anything, but I
didn't either. But I probably should have, because some of my Pokemon have some pretty gnarly moves. But whatever.
I did some training before we get into the gym. Did you do anything else?
I will quickly say my approach to training this leg. I did a ton of training, but I did it in such a way that I didn't have to repeat routes, because I got so punished by that last week.
Right.
That I didn't want to have to go back and constantly heal and stuff. And the world card also really helped me clear the Hierophant or whatever I had that wouldn't let me use healing items. So
yeah,
I just did kind of a couple of big marathon training sessions. So I never had to redraw any cards, thankfully. But you did. Tell me about the cards you redrew.
I did one because I needed to do some training to try to get a couple of mon up to close to or at least level 30.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to Route 5.
Yep.
And I drew the Empress.
Oh, is that... Well, I just drew the Emperor. Is it similar or is it the opposite?
It allows you to catch the first Pokemon you see in this area or free one petrified Pokemon and immediately end one ongoing rule of your choice. So I didn't have any more petrified Pokemon because of the world.
Right. And you didn't have any ongoing rules because of the world.
The world, I think, technically was one. I don't know, but I cleared it. Like, yeah, so all that really I have matter. Is the Empress now as my major arcana.
Yep.
And I caught a Trubbish.
Ugh.
That was the first one I got. I mean, at least it's a new Mon. I didn't have one.
That's true. I ran one last gen.
And then I just fucking
game, and I didn't like it.
Stayed out here forever.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Except I did it the first time around. Well, that's not too bad then. You lucked out.
Yeah.
You had to go draw a new card, but it was a good one, so kudos.
I made it out of here pretty nicely before the gym.
Which means that all that is left, Joshua, is the gym. Let's talk about our teams. It's level check.
Level check.
So Driftveil Gym is Clay, the cowpoke, the like cowboy businessman. He's got like a new operation.
Mining baron.
Yeah. He's not making any of his people like stand on rafters anymore or like supports for an elevator. Now everyone just has their nice own little platform in kind of this dark maze. Although he does make everyone, including himself, stand in pitch black darkness for multiple hours every day.
It is sort of fucked up.
Yeah, he's really bad with his employees.
Yeah.
Type,
those barons aren't really known for their labor laws of Bidens. Let's do Slaanesh first. I feel like you've been making me go first.
I always do kind of make you go first. But here,
Let's see what Slaanesh is. What are the Chaos Lords up to?
Slaanesh, the Dark Prince of Pleasure, erupted from the Chaos Realms through a tear in space-time and brought with them 6 Chaos Lords to face off against the villainous tycoon, Clay. Leading the charge, Corpulax, who's freshly evolved into a Golduck, level 35.
Sweet fancy Moses.
Next up, Umbrag of the Brazen Flesh, Lucario, level 30. I can't remember why I brought a fighting type, but it seemed smart at the time.
It's not a bad idea.
Who is Mon? I feel like there was someone who I was like, oh, fighting's going to be so good against this. But now I can't remember.
Because it's
Excadrill
steel and
steel.
Ground.
Yeah. After that, Zorish the Warsmith, Magnemite, Magneton, level 33. No reason to bring this guy.
No.
Oh, no, there was. Someone has flying. Was it one of the trainers? No.
No, definitely not.
I don't know why I brought him.
Oh, yeah, because don't you still have... Oh, no, the world would have wiped out my rule that you can only bring the number of Pokemon that the gym leader has.
No, I brought all 6 Pokemon.
Yeah, you're free.
Zorish the Warsmith was just sort of watching. Next up, Aragast the Pillager, Maractus, level 34. Very useful in this gym. After that, High Bloodcaller, the Sandile, level 31. Except it's not a Sandile, it's a Cockorock.
Yeah. Cockorock? Crocorock.
Crocorock.
Reminds me of the Cock of the Rock. You seen that bird? Beautiful bird. And real name.
Beautiful bird. Yep.
Yeah.
And finally, the newcomer, Zorua, whose name is Zorua, level 27. Not a Chaos Lord, just sort of like a hanger-on.
An acolyte.
Yeah. It was really Golduck and Maractus' show this week in the gym.
Yeah.
No one else really played much of a part. What about Mr. Right?
Mr. Right finally has assembled for the time being his selection of his favorite lords and ladies. George III, Psyduck.
Cute.
I didn't make it to that Golduck level 31.
Close.
But let me remind you, Tanner and Buckcatchers, pretty much all of these Mon were low 20s. Any of the ones that are still here.
Yeah, I know. You really suffered last week.
And the next one, Wilhelmina Servine, who's finally in the team,
that one
was level 19 and is now level 30.
That's not too bad.
I had
less. I didn't have as far to go on most of my Mon.
I had so much work to do.
Yeah.
Then we have Cleopatra, Whirlipede, level 28.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was already there, but I just I like it. I want to see if I can make it to Scolipede.
Yeah, I wish... Is it pure poison?
Poison bug.
Poison bug's a little better. I wish poison was just ever useful. Like
it
they
gets
just sort
good
of like
moves
run
though,
out
because
of...
it has poison tail and then Venoshock. So if you poison them with poison tail, which has a 30% chance of it, then you lay them with the Venoshock, and that does double damage of I think 60, so 120 total, if not more, if the Pokemon is already poisoned. So it's a good combo. Yeah, and I have Bug Bite now, so that's fun. Griffin, Trapinch, level 30.
Yeah.
Ananazinga, Magneton, level 30.
Yes, 2 Magnetons.
Yeah. Yours is higher level, though, of course. And then Sigismund, Braviary, level 30.
Okay, you're sticking with the Braviary, huh?
Well, I got it, and I was like looking at the stats because I can do that now.
Pure
and
flying?
I got normal flying. So whatever with the type, but great stats, and it normally evolves at level 54, Tanner. And I got it, remember, in the desert?
Yep.
I got it at level 25, so its stats are obscene. It has like 111 hit points already.
Yeah. Well, how'd that team face off again?
And,
who's your
well,
ringer
Sigismund, by the way, is to close the loop there, is Holy Roman Emperor. And this thing's got a kingly... It's all that European shit where they always put
gate.
like a big bird on their flags and their little crests and everything. So it was like Holy Roman
Even the
Emperor.
Romans had the what it was the Iron Eagle that they put at the front of their troops.
Well, and then also Tanner, take a quick look at this guy, Sigismund.
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 What you have written here.
Sigismund. Well, that's what I said.
Look at that. Man. What a look.
That's how you pronounce it when you've had a couple of beers.
This guy's got quite a look.
Yeah, and it looks like a big Braviary head. He's got a hat like a big Russian style hat in his like famous portrait. So I don't know.
He's a Holy Roman Emperor, but one of the ones that lived in the 1300s. Like,
oh yeah,
what was it? 700 years after the Holy Roman Empire ended?
Well, it didn't.
No, I technically never really. Just sort of fizzled out
until like the 1700s, but
yeah. But I wouldn't say, this guy wasn't part of like the real Holy Roman Empire.
Oh, okay.
Is that offensive?
To the Romans? To the Catholic Church or something?
To the Czech people?
I wouldn't want you to offend the Czechs. I like the Czechs.
He was the king of Hungary, Croatia, Germany, Bohemia, and then the Holy Roman Emperor. This guy had a career.
Yeah, Braviary.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick for that particular majestic
that big bird. Yeah. So that's Mr. Right. That's what he's got.
How'd you do against Clay?
I'll tell you, it was a cakewalk until Excadrill.
Excadrill gave you troubles.
So I did do, Bugcatchers, once again, kind of an excellent, not my favorite of the gyms we've seen so far in this game, but still fun. You traverse a series of like mining carts and elevators and like platforms. And
everything is dark and it kind of lights up as you go.
Every time you show up on a platform, then it will light up. And there's a ton, countless, 10 trainers or something in here.
Oh,
I cleared all
endless.
of them because there's no, I think this is where like cold storage was in Black and White, right? And it's not here anymore. So this is really
that's where the contest is going to be next week.
Well, right. But it's gone now. Like there's nowhere to train here other than this gym really and Route 5 as I did.
Yep.
So I cleared all of them, and most of them were just one-hit KOs from Servine or Psyduck.
Right.
But I make it to Clay, and he's got a Sandslash, a Krokorok, and Excadrill.
Yep. 31, 31, 33.
And the Excadrill, because it is part steel, my grass moves are not super effective against it, and Psyduck is dead. The Sandslash had managed to kill it. So all that I had left... I had my whole team beyond them, but if Servine died, like, it's a slugfest and or potentially one-hit KOs.
Oof.
So, because the Excadrill had Rock Slide, so Braviary, you would think Braviary could do this, but no, that almost certainly would have been a one-hit KO.
Right.
So Servine, I was like, all right, I got to just do Leech Seed to make sure that I can get health back. And then immediately after that, the Excadrill drops like Bulldoze, and it's still doing almost half of my hit points, even though it's like not very effective. I was like, okay, this is a nightmare.
But
I sat there dropping super potions on Servine.
Actually,
until the Leech Seed got it down low enough that then I just popped off Leaf Tornado and I killed it.
Oh, okay. I guess my journey wasn't that. I don't feel like I had a lot of trouble with him, but I do think it was Maractus who was up against Excadrill. And I think I had Ingrain, which was giving me health each turn, but not a ton. And Giga Drain. I would think I was just dropping Giga Drain on it a ton. So taking health off of it and giving it to Maractus, which is the only thing that got me through. But it was kind of a slugfest.
Yeah. But you're
right. It was a little tricky. Trickier than I gave him credit for. Good on you, Clay.
You beat him. You get the Quake badge.
Cool badge. It's like a Earth sample, like a geologist would take.
And then TM78 Bulldoze, which you can't use. Can't use it.
Well, Josh, the only thing left then is to mash these sweet Pokemon together and see who comes out victorious between me and you. What do you say?
I guess we're going to have to.
Let's head over to Pokemon Showdown. Bug catchers, we will check in with you after the first... You know what? We're just going to do one battle. Bug catchers, we'll check in with you after we've battled.
Oh, because you think you're just going to mop the floor with me.
Yeah, what's the point of doing two, huh?
If you mop the floor with me, yeah, I'm not doing another one.
Okay.
But if it's close...
Bug catchers, we'll be back and let you know how it goes. I have, obviously, you just heard my levels are a little bit better than Josh's. Not crazy better.
But I'm a little bit better at Pokemon.
Yeah, so it might end up actually kind of leveling out. So we'll see.
Ugh.
Kind of a weird one, huh?
I don't know who interceded on your behalf, but there was certainly mayor cheating, and I don't know who it was, but it was.
I think it was a clean fight. I beat Josh, obviously, and we're not going to be battling again because Josh literally gave up halfway through. He said, "I don't care, just kill me."
I mean, it was so brutal. This whole thing with the Zorua.
Yeah, let's walk the bug catchers through that, because what happened was you had Sigilif in and I brought in Magneton. Obviously not.
Oh, well, we should also explain. First of all, I had to make a Sigilif because Pokemon Showdown does not allow my Braviary because it's not level 54.
Yeah. Similarly, my Magneton couldn't have Mirror Shot because Magneton don't learn Mirror Shot until like 46, I think. But in Black and White 2, they learned it at like 23.
So we played with a bunch of different settings.
Yeah. So you had a Sigilif instead of a Braviary.
Like, Braviary was set up as one of my ringers. So number one, that's a problem.
So you had your Sigilif in. I brought in a Magneton. Obviously not great for you, but Sigilif knows Whirlwind. So you whirlwinded my Magneton out there, and it was replaced by a Magneton.
Yeah, and which
confused both of us.
Neither of us knew what was happening.
But I figured it out quicker than you did, and I let it go for a couple turns. And Magneton.
Yeah. I found out the hard way because I was trying to use Psybeam on it, and it was like not working. I mean, it's immune, and I was like, "What? It should at least be not very effective." And then I finally killed it, and then it's revealed that it's the Zorua.
It was a Zorua, and one of Zorua's ability is this illusion. So Zorua looks like whatever Pokemon was just in. So he was trying to do side attacks on a dark Pokemon, so obviously it wasn't very effective. And then eventually you did kill the Zorua, and it was revealed to be the Zorua the entire time.
Yeah.
But it was too late at that point, Joshua. I had already crushed you like a little... I bone rushed you so hard.
Yeah, Lucario's bone rush was less crushing.
I almost one-hitted you with that, because all 5 hits landed.
Yeah.
And they all did a lot of damage, so...
it was ugly. I mean, you can watch the replay.
You did peel off 3 of my Pokemon. Not like I got through unscathed, you know?
Yeah.
But I did defeat you.
I didn't feel good about it.
And we shan't be battling again.
No. It was ugly.
Well, that's it then. I'm Supreme Champion of Pokemon. I am Supreme Champion of Experience Share and will be for the foreseeable future until the end of time.
Hey, at least we retain the IP this time.
Yeah. Well, I retain the IP. I wouldn't.
If you make me sound bad, you know I'm litigious.
You're going to sue me for giving you the bad edit?
Yeah.
The villain edit?
Yeah.
All right, bug catchers, that's it for this leg of the journey. Thank you for joining us. Next week, we will be headed to
a town.
Well, first of all, we're going to be headed to the Pokemon World Tournament.
That's right.
That Clay invited us to as we were headed out of his gym this week. But then after that, we will be headed to, wow, this is a long leg ahead of us, bud.
Mistralton City.
Mistralton City and Mistralton Gym.
Oh, yeah, we've got a long while.
Yeah, it's a pretty long leg.
Fortunately, we gave ourselves 5 days to do it, so.
Yep. That'll be good for us. That's about 3 days less than we usually have. So
yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun to do.
Good luck to everyone.
Really looking forward to that. Hello, it's Tanner doing the edit. We're also going to have Chris from Pokemaniacal, the inventor of the Kingslocke rule set, on next week to join us in our journey to Mistralton City, and we will be battling him. So look forward to that as well. Please do rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and do follow the show everywhere that you follow shows, be that Stitcher or Overcast or Pocket Casts or whatever, wherever you listen to podcasts.
And give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at EXPSharePod. Give us a follow on reddit.com/r/bugcatchers, which is where you can do the level checks with fellow fans.
Do level checks, and you might have a chance to battle us at the end of the season, which would be fun.
Yeah, you could win your very own chance for one of us to call you a mayor cheat.
Yeah, to belittle you in front of someone else, a complete stranger. 2 complete strangers belittling you in front of another complete stranger.
Yeah, and we won't yuck yums. That might be your thing. I don't know.
Hey. Yeah. That probably motivated some of you. You're like, oh,
yeah,
can't wait. Yep. Then anything else? Buy the merch. EXPShareMerch.com. And that's it. Bugcatchers. Yeah. Joshua. Goodbye.
Smell you later.